BMW R12 GS crash bars installation guide, the supplied hardware, 2 M12 by 90 millimeter long bolts plus the corresponding spacers and washers, 2 M10 by 70 millimeter long bolts with corresponding washers and spacers, 2 M8 by 25 millimeter long bolts plus washers, and then we have an M8 through bolt plus spacer plus washer nylock nut, M10 through bolt, 2 washers nylock nut, and 2 corresponding spacers with collars. The tools I'm going to be using: 13 millimeter wrench or spanner, 17 millimeter wrench or spanner, ratchet plus extension, 6, 8, and 10 millimeter Allen sockets, or you can use Allen keys as well. I'm also going to be applying blue medium strength Loctite on the M8 bolts here and the M10 bolts here. So before you begin the installation, you will have to remove 4 bolts, 1 on each side up top here and 1 on each side down here. Take those bolts out and then you can proceed. The first thing you should do is grab the M12 spacer, the one that's going to go with the M12 bolt, and put the spacer in this crevice down here. It's just going to be easier to do it now as opposed to doing it later. Well, next step, grab the M10 bolt. I already have Loctite on it and the washer. Push it through here. On the back side, slip the spacer on. And then put the crash bar in place and hand thread this bolt. Doesn't need to go too far in for now, like so. You can go ahead with the 12 or with the M8 up here, either or. That should make no difference. You can hand thread the bolt a couple of times. And then I'm going to go ahead with the M8 up here. Like so. So right now the structure is very loose. The bolts are in place. And what you can do is go ahead and turn those bolts a few more times. You still want to make sure that the crash bar will remain loose enough so you can rattle it a little bit, but not this much. Okay, so I turned all 3 bolts a bit more, so it still rattles and shakes, but not too much. And this is just enough for us. Now I'm going to repeat the very same steps on the right hand side. All right, so the right side's in place. Again, it rattles just enough. Now we're going to go ahead and put the spacers in between here with the corresponding through bolts. All right, I'm going to start with the M10 through bolt, put the washer in place, and then grab the short spacer with the collar. You're going to put that in through here and then push the through bolt in. Not all the way through, maybe put your finger on the other side. And then you're going to put this long spacer in. The reason why it's so long is because we have the engine oil filter down here. When it comes to oil change, you will not have to remove the crash bar, the left side crash bar. You will just have to pull this bolt out partially and then drop this spacer like that. And then you'll have access to the oil filter or the mechanic, whoever's working on your bike. Okay, so put that long spacer in place. And now you can go ahead and push the through bolt all the way through until it pops out on the other side. Like so. Washer and then spin on the nylock nut. All right, up at the front, again, the M8 through bolt with the washer. Put the spacer in place, the corresponding M8 spacer. And put the bolt in. Don't push it all the way through because you're going to have to put the nylock nut in place over here. The space is a little bit tight here. That's why you don't want to push the through bolt all the way until you get to this point, and you can start spinning it on. And that's that. So this concludes the installation guide. And what we always recommend to our customers is that you can gradually tighten the bolts. We don't suggest that you crank one bolt all the way in because then it can pull on the structure as you're tightening it. So it might become too tight down here unless you do it gradually. So by gradual, we mean a few turns here, a few turns here, a few turns here and down here, and then start over again. And then you can go ahead and torque those bolts. So same rules apply on the other side, of course. We also suggest to our customers that after a test ride, whether it's 100 kilometers, 150 kilometers, 100 miles, 120 miles, double check all the bolts and nuts once again. So should you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us via email info@outbackmotortek.com, or you can call toll free 877-931-3636. Thank you for watching.